Let me ask you something. Have you ever wondered why some men without the flashy car, without the $1 million bank account, without the designer suits still manage to own a woman's heart completely? Why even in today's world where everyone's chasing status, some men make women fall harder, deeper. Without spending a single dollar on them, the truth might shock you, because it's not looks, it's not money, and not even raw confidence. It's something deeper, something magnetic, something timeless. In today's video, we're going to break down 5 things women secretly love more than money through the ancient battle-tested wisdom of the Stoic emperor, Marcus Aurelius. These aren't pickup lines. They're not mind games, they're transformations. If you truly absorb them, they will not only change how women feel about you, they will change how you see yourself as a man. So, if you're ready to stop chasing women who only care about what you can buy them, and start becoming the kind of men who women naturally respect, admire, and desire, stick around until the very end. This could completely rewrite your love life.
And if you're new here, welcome to Dark Psychology. I'm Amelia, and we don't just talk about dating. We talk about becoming the kind of man who doesn't need to beg for attention. Says very presence.
Commands it. There's an old Roman story about a soldier named Lucius. He wasn't wealthy. He wasn't noble. He didn't wear gold rings or silk robes. But he had something invisible that mad women stop in their tracks and look at gain. Even the daughter of a wealth-izinator fell for him, not because of what he could give her, but because of woe he was. One day, a fellow soldier asked him, "What is it about you thatcherous women in?" Lucius smiled and said, "I live by the words of the emperor." He was talking about Marcus Aurelius. A man who didn't just rule an empire, he ruled himself. And in a world of chaos, noise, and temptation, that is the most attractive force of all. One presents over possessions. Do you remember your first love? Not talking about the gifts they gave you, or the fancy dates you went on. I'm talking about that feeling when they looked at you like you were the only person in the world, when time slowed down and nothing else mattered. That's presence, not presence. And the truth is, women crave this far more than any gift. Not just at the start, but every time. Let me take you deeper into Lucius's life. After long days of training in the hot Roman sun, his armor dusty and his body aching, he would meet his lover under the olive trees. She would talk about her dreams, her fears, her worries. And Lucius wouldn't interrupt. He wouldn't fidget. He wouldn't glance around or pretend to listen. He was there fully. No scrolls in his hand. No wandering eyes. No mental to-do list in the background. Just presence. Now, here's the brutal reality. In today's world, that kind of presence is more rare. We live in an age where most men can't go 5 minutes without checking their phone. You might be sitting across from her at dinner beauty if you're scrolling. Instagram, you're in there. And women, they feel it. They notice when you're physically in the room, but mentally somewhere else. Thinking about your deadlines, your plans for tomorrow. That's when she starts to pull away. Not because she doesn't care, but because she doesn't feel seen. Marcus Aurelius said, "Confine yourself to the present." Simple advice, but almost no one does it. Most men are time travelers, regretting the past, stressing about the future, and completely missing the one thing that actually matters. The now, Lucius didn't have gold coins. He didn't have status, but he mastered the moment. And in doing so, he gave his woman something no expensive gift could ever replace: connection. So let me ask you, have you ever had a moment when someone made you feel truly understood, not judged, not rushed, just safe? That meant sticks forever, doesn't it? Now imagine being the man who gives that to a woman, not just once, but every single time you're with her. You don't chase her. You don't need to impress her. You just show up fully. And here's the secret. In a world where every man is trying to show off, the man who actually shows up is unforgettable. Because when a woman feels emotionally seen, she connects. And when she connects, she falls. Amelia's note for you: presence isn't about doing more. It's about being more. You don't need money for that. You just need to be here. Still with me? Good. Because the second thing women secretly crave is even more powerful than presence. And it's where most men fail while the Stoic man wins. Have you ever been in a relationship and felt that sudden jolt of panic? Maybe she didn't text back right away. Maybe she laughed a little too long at another guy's joke. Or maybe it was just that eerie silence that Medea wondered, what if she's lozenge interest? That rush of anxiety in your chest. Every man has felt it, even the strong ones. But here's the difference. A high-value man doesn't let that feeling take the wheel. A reactive man does. And that's exactly where most men lose her without even realizing it. Actor. Our stoic soldier. Lucius. One night, after weeks away on a mission, he returned to camp. From a distance, he spotted his lover in deep conversation with a handsome nobleman. They were laughing. Her head tilted just slightly toward him, her hand brushing her hair back. In that way, women do when they're engaged. Another soldier nudged Lucius and smirked. Looks like she's already replacing you, brother. Ismon. They'd charge in, make a scene, demand answers. But Lucius, he didn't move, didn't glare. He didn't even let his heartbeat change pace. Gladder that. Night, his lover came to him. He didn't say anything, she said. Ziarin, even angry. Lucius simply replied, I trust that what's true doesn't need chasing. If it must leave, no force will hold it. That's not weakness. It's power. Marcus Aurelius wrote, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will. Find strength. Emotional discipline doesn't mean you bury your feelings. It means you master them. You don't let every flicker off jealousy or fear turn into an explosion. You don't let temporary emotions cause a permanent damage. Because here's the thing, women don't need you to be perfect, but they do need to feel emotionally safe. If you explode every time she disagrees with you, if Yasa can withdraw to punish her, if you big panic or spiral when she pulls away, you're showing her that you're unstable, that you can't hold the frame, that her emotions control your emotions. And when a woman doesn't feel emotionally safe with you, her heart shuts down. She may still be physical present, but she won't let you all the way in. Here's the truth, most men don't want to hear. Sometimes she will test you. Not because she's cruel, but because she needs to know. Can this man handle my chaos? She's looking for your center, your stillness. It's because if you can't lead yourself through an emotional storm, you'll never lead her through own. The man who passes that test doesn't just keep her. He earns her trust on a deeper level than most men will ever experience. So the next time she pushes your buttons, breathe, pause, and ask yourself, what would a king do her? A king doesn't beg. A king doesn't crumble. A king doesn't crumble when the wind blows. He stands. And in that stillness, he becomes magnetic. And here's the secret, brother. Still water spoiled the deepest love because drama is everywhere. But the man who can stand calm in the storm is rare, and women feel it. Now that you understand the power of emotional grounding, let's go to the third thing women secretly crave. One that has nothing to do with charmant, everything to do with destiny. This is where most men chase approval. But a truly magnetic man, he chases purpose. Let me ask you something that most men avoid. When was the last time you looked in the mirror, not to fix your hair, not to check your jawline, but to really ask yourself, what am I doing with my life? Not for hair approval, not to impress your friends, not because the world expects it, but for you. Here's what most men don't realize until it's too late. Women don't fall in love with the man who's trying to be liked by everyone. They fall for the man who's walking his own path, even if he has to walk it alone. Marcus Aurelius said it best. Do not waste what remains of your life in speculating out others. Be occupied then with what is truly your own, its purpose. And when a man has it, everything about him changes. His presence, his confidence, his value. Lucius, our stoic soldier, wasn't the loudest man in camp. He wasn't the one telling wild stories of tavern or surrounded by crowds of Fedemires. But he was the first to rise before the sun. He trained when others slept. He studied philosophy by torchlight. And he helped others quietly, not for credit, not for fame, but because it was part of his mission. One evening, a younger soldier asked, "Why don't you ever join us at the tavern? Don't you care what people think?" Lucius just smiled and said, "I do care, just note about everyone. I care about who I've come." That same man calloused hands, quiet eyes, had women magnetized to him, not because he chased them, but because Thea could feel something rare: direction. You see, most men drift through life waiting for something to happen. A man with purpose makes things think. And women feel the difference instantly, because a man with purpose need validation. He doesn't need to be the center of attention. His mission makes him magnetic all on its own. Think about it. Have you ever dated Simeon where it felt like you were just going in circles? No vision, no growth, no real future. It's draining. Now flip it.
Imagine!
You're the man who wakes up with clarity, who knows what he's building, who treats his time like gold, who doesn't explain every move because he's too busy making them. In today's world, that's rare, and rare is irresistible. If you don't have purpose, you'll chase popularity. Popularity fades fast. When you have purpose, even if you're unknown, even if you're irrelevant, people feel your gravity. And the right woman will want to walk beside you, not because you begged, but because your path calls her. So ask yourself, if I took away the attention, the likes, the approval, would my life still have a meaning? If the answer is no, you've been chasing the wrong prize. Because here's the thing, brother. Once you have propose, there's something else attachments your value in a woman's eyes. Something rarer than confidence, something more attractive than charm, something that can't be faked. It's integrity. It's in a world full of masks. It's the one thing that makes you unforgettable. Be honest with yourself for a second. Have you ever pretended to be Simeon, not just to get a woman to like you? Maybe you exaggerated a story. Maybe you laughed at a joke you didn't actually find funny. Maybe you said, "Yeah, I love that too," when deep down you couldn't care less. We've all done it. And why? Because somewhere inside, there's that whisper. If she sees through me, maybe I won't be enough. Here's what most men never learn. Women are drawn to truth. Not the Instagram-filtered look how perfect I am version of truth, but the raw, unshakable kin thought can't be faked. Marcus Aurelius. Put it plainly. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one, and when you actually are one, your words, your actions, your choices align up. That's what makes her trust you. That's what makes her stay. Lucius faced a choice that would define him. A corrupt official offered him a promotion, a better pay, more influence, more recognition. But there was a catch. He'd have to turn a blind eye toward justice. He could have taken it. No one would have known, except he would have known. So he turned it down. His fellow soldiers mocked him. Why throw away your chance? No one would have heavily blamed you. Lucius simply replied, "If I betray my values for status, then I am nothing, no matter what badge they give him." That very night, his lover cupid his face in her hands and said, "Do you know why I love you? 'Cause I never have to wonder who you are. You are a Thea man in every room." That's the power of integrity. Because here's the truth. You can fake confidence. You can fake charm, but you can't fake character. Women can feel it when something's off. When your words say one thing, but your actions say another. Maybe she'll stay for a while, but she won't trust you. And without trust, love rots slowly at first, then all at once. So ask yourself, when no one's watching, when you could lie, cheat, or bend the truth without getting caught, who are you? That is the man she falls for. Not the perfect one, not the polished one, but the principled one. In a world drowning in illusions, filters, facades, and fake status, a man with unshakable values is her anchor. A man who keeps his word, who apologizes when he's wrong, who walks away from anything that violates his principles, no matter how tempting it is to stay. That man is unforgettable. But hair swear we take it even deeper. 'Cause there's one last quality, so subtle, yet so powerful, that separates a man who talks about power from the man who actually has it. It's the art of silence. And when you master it, you won't need to prove yourself ever again. Have you ever felt that subtle pressuretto? Prove yourself to a woman? To draw fence about your income? To name drop people, to list your achievements? Like you're reading your own resume. Not because you truly wanted to share them, but because deep down you felt you had to, just to earn her attention. If you've ever been there, you're not alone. Most men have. We live in a world that worships noise, where the loudest man in the room is often mistaken for the most powerful. Others, the Stoic truth. Marcus Aurelius said, "Silence is a lesson learned through life's many sufferings." Silence is a weakness. Silence is restraint. Silence is command. One evening, after returning victorious from a dangerous mission, Lucius stood in the command hall with his fellow soldiers. The general asked each man to describe what role they played in that victory. One by one, the men stepped forward, each telling their story, adding a little more detail, a little more glory. But when it was Lucius' turn, he simply bowed his head and said nothing. The general paused. "And you, Lucius? What would you say of your role?" Lucius replied, "My reward is the outcome, not the praise." And in that moment, the room went still. Respect filled the air. The general smiled because he knew a man who didn't need applause. It was a man whose worth came from within. When you stop trying to convince people of your value, you become valuable. Because here's the truth. The man who is truly powerful never has to announce it. He doesn't need to perform. He doesn't need to over-ex law, and his actions speak louder than his words ever could. Think about it. Have you ever met someone who couldn't stop talking about their achievements? Who they know, or what they've done? It's exhausting. And part of you starts to wonder, if you really are that impressive, why are you working so hard to convince me? Women feel the same way. A man who's constantly proving himself feels insecure, whether he realizes it or not. But the man knows himself so deeply that he doesn't need to perform. That's the man hope comes unforgettable. Lucius never bragged, never paraded his victories. Yet every soldier respected him, and every woman felt the quiet gravity of his presence. Because silence is mystery, and mystery is magnetic. When you stop trying to be noticed, you become the one worth noticing. So what did we learn? It's not your wallet, your titles, or your follower stat make you unforgettable. It's these rare qualities. And the rarer you are, the more she feels something she can't even explain but can't ignore. Presence over possessions. Because emotional connection outlasts any gift. Emotional discipline over drama. Because it needs to feel safe, not stressed. Purpose. Over popularity because mission builds magnetism. Integrity over image because trust is more attractive than a facade. Silence over showing off because power doesn't taint itself. It radiates. Lucius wasn't a rich man, but his soul was wealthy. That's why Thessinator's daughter chose him. Because as Marcus Aurelius taught, that what truly matters isn't what others think you are. It's who you are when no one's watching, so brother. Which one of these 5 qualities will you start mastering, Toady? Because the day you stop chasing gay provel and start living by these principles, it's the day you stop looking for love, and love starts looking for you.